Will the real estate market crash in 2025? The answer is no. Chances are it's not. Of course, watch the market crash now and everyone's gonna be like, Allie, you told me it wasn't gonna crash. In this video, I will be covering real estate trends for 2025 and what that means to you as a buyer agent, a listing agent, and you and your general business. What this video will not be is going line by line, graph after graph, pointing out every single data point. That is not me. I am here to interpret that data for you and tell you the too long didn't read version. So that way, whether you help buyers or whether you help sellers, you can increase your business with this video. Let's cover interest rates. Where are they headed? When we think about a couple of years ago during COVID, the only reason interest rates ever hit the lows, the low twos, the low threes, is because the economy needed to be stimulated. They needed more money being pumped into the economy. So that brought out a ton of buyers because all of a sudden, people that were once qualifying for $400,000 homes could qualify for $800,000 homes. Therefore, home prices skyrocketed. So what's going to happen in 2025? I don't mean to make anything political because I hate politics. If the Trump administration betters the economy, what happens when there is already a good economy and money is exchanging hands? There is no reason to decrease or lower the interest rate. In fact, interest rates for mortgages may go up. And staying on the political topic, which will be my last political statement, which isn't even an opinion, it's just fact. If the Trump administration decreases or cuts back on immigration, the fact is 30% of the US's construction workforce are immigrants. So if immigration is cut back, we are not going to see more houses continuing to increase and be available on the market as much as we have been seeing. During COVID, when interest rates went down and prices went up, that's typically the correlation that we have been used to. However, since interest rates have gone up, you would have thought that home prices would have gone down, but they haven't. They've continued to go up. And the reason for that is because there are simply not enough houses. There are more buyers, more buyer demand than there are houses available. So if immigration is going to be cut back, who is going to make the houses? I don't know. That is my last political statement. Generally, it is expected to continue to see housing prices go up until the inventory matches the buyer demand. As of right now, buyer demand is up here and home inventory is down here. According to a bunch of different economists from different websites, I'm going to go quarter by quarter as far as what they are predicting that mortgage interest rates will be for 2025. And you know what? I'm covering a lot of what I cover. Well, not a lot. I'm covering a fraction of what I cover in my 90-day content bootcamp. So if you need an extra boost to get more clients, check out my school because I have all of the resources there. Quarter one, they are predicting to be the highest out of all the quarters in 2025, between 6.8 and 7.25%. And economists are predicting that's because of the high inflation that we have right now. Quarter two is predicted to decrease to 6.5 to 7%. Quarter three is predicted to decrease even further to 6.8%. And quarter four is predicted to decrease even further from 6 to 6.5%. Keep in mind though that interest rates only, of course, when I say interest rates, I'm talking about like the mortgage interest rates. Interest rates typically only decline after there's been clear evidence of inflation overall declining. So whether or not you work with buyers or you work with sellers, it is your duty to inform and talk to these clients and let them know what economists are predicting. It's not our prediction, but we should let them know whenever you talk to a client that's like, the market's going to crash this year, so the interest rates are going to come down. Tell them so then that way you and them are on the same team and it's you both against the market and not you against them. That's sometimes what happens at listing appointments. And I don't want you to be in that position. Before I go into advice as to how to help you as a buyer agent or how to help you as a listing agent for 2025, I want to go over the 3 key metrics that I always have memorized for my niche. So that way when somebody asks me, oh, Allie, how's the market? Which you always get those questions too. You know exactly which direction to go. By the way, if someone asks you, hey, how is the market? The answer is always depends. Are you looking to buy, sell, rent, invest? Because the answers will change. So these are the 3 key metrics that I like to know off the top of the dome. Number 1 is the list to sale ratio. Essentially, are sellers getting more and selling their house for higher than what they listed, or are they selling it for less than what they listed? And by how much? What is the percentage? Number 2, what are the days on market for a 4-bed, 3-bath home? I used to have this memorized for a 3-bed, 2-bath home, but now I'm more working with move-up buyers as opposed to first-time buyers. And with that same type, Typically my buyers like to do 4-bed, 3-bath, and they're selling 4-bed, 3-bath homes. So on top of the days on market, what is the median list price? Those 3 metrics will help you a lot in a lot of conversations. Just this morning, quick story, I was doing valuations for a couple of my clients that purchased properties in 2022 when I first got licensed, and 2 buyers, one purchased in early 2022 and the other purchased in late 2022. But around the same time, just 10 minutes away from each other, had drastically different percentages in their home value. So one purchased in a zip code where the prices since then have gone down. The home values have gone down in that zip code. Now his specific property actually didn't change, but that's exactly it. It didn't change. After 2.5 years, the home value is still the same. Yet 10 minutes down the road, technically a different road, but you know what I'm saying, 10 minutes away in the same city in late 2022, a different buyer purchased in a different zip code and their property increased $25,000 each year. So they have equity of over $50,000 right now. The $50,000 increase was a 4-bed, 3-bath home. The price in the zip code of where the areas remain the same, that was a starter home. The point of this is you need to be an expert of your niche, your market. Because if you mainly work first-time home buyers, and you're trying to take on a luxury client, that is a different market even within the same city. So as you're talking to your clients who may have purchased in an area where the area is declining or their home value has remained the same after 2-3 years, don't be shy in telling them that. They need to hear it from you. Did they overpay? Unless they paid more than the appraisal, they did not overpay. So make sure that you're not hiding that information from them. You want to maintain being their advisor and therefore you becoming their agent for life and having them become repeat clients, as opposed to you always having to build new business, new business, new business. So what does this mean to you as a buyer's agent? It means that a lot of your buyers that were on the fence, kind of trying to get qualified, but not yet there, they're going to choose to rent. So you save yourself some heartache and work with those that are actually going to be ready, willing, able, and know, like, and trust you. It always comes down to that. And I don't mean to sound heartless. I don't mean to sound ruthless, but Alex Hormozy says it best, where if you fix rich people problems, they pay better. And unless you have enough money to work for free, chances are you may need to work for income. Just my advice, if your niche has been only or majority first-time home buyers, it may be time to switch to move up buyers. Reach out to those clients that you worked with 3, 4, 5 years ago and just ask what's up. How's your job? How is your family? And of course, during that conversation will come the 6 or the 7 Ds, whatever they say, death, divorce, or is it Bs? Babies, diapers, you know what I'm saying. There's going to be some sort of life event where they may need to sell or they may want to rent out their property and purchase another one. Job relocation, you know the drill. I'm not talking to brand new agents here. With that said, there are still buyers out there. I hear of agents complaining about their business being down and them blaming the economy when instead they should be blaming themselves. People are still moving, guys. There are still investors out there. And even if you don't want to work with investors, like I don't work with investors, there are still people that need to move or just want to move and are able to move. So focus on those that are able and ready until you have completely exhausted your list of potential clients. Don't move on to the next one. With a big comma, with a big caveat of if you are only working with first-time investors or first-time home buyers, those are typically the ones that do not pull the trigger, or if they do pull the trigger and go under contract, they're the ones most likely to fall out of contract due to financing because they no longer qualify because rates change, or if they're an investor, they may get scared and they'll pull out. So make sure that you're asking pre-qualifying questions. You don't want to waste your time. So how do you exhaust your list? First of all, you should have a list. And I'm going to go into exactly how to start the list at the end of this video. And I'll tell you what worked for me. When I first got started and up until now, my goal has been having 6 conversations about real estate every single day. And talking to my wife about real estate does not count. Make them actually count because otherwise you're only hurting yourself. If you don't go to sleep until you have 6 conversations about real estate, look at my military shit coming out, you are wrong. So just make sure that you make a goal. My number has been 6. Now it's actually 8. And don't go to bed until you have 8 conversations. And I cannot believe when some people are like,
8 conversations a day about real estate, that's hard.
What? Like, How is that hard? Go on social media, send out DMs, do you not know 8 people in your life? Open up your phone right now and just send anybody a random fucking text. Like, start a conversation. Again, hope I'm not talking to new agents here. Okay, carrying on. Aside from the outbound DMs, you could also do what a lot of people call outbound on inbound, which means you're reaching out to people that reached out to you. But how do they get them to reach out to you first? Is you post content. You go on Instagram live. Are you scared? Do you want commission? Go live every single day for a week. And that's not even anything. That's only to prove to you that you will still be alive after you go on live every single day for a week. Then do it every single day for the next 90 days. You're going to get clients. You will. If after 100 days straight of reaching out to at least 100 people, or at least having 8 conversations or 6 conversations, whatever you decide, every single day, not going to sleep until you do, and you still don't have a client, that means you don't know how to talk to people. So at that point, reach out to your mentor, reach out to your broker and be like, hey, what's wrong with my script? What am I doing wrong? But first, try. Because no matter how many times or how much information you get, if you don't even try, why are you bothering? Now, what does this mean to you as a listing agent representing sellers? Chances are, if you are predominantly a listing agent, the market is still in your favor because predominantly in the US, as of right now, it is still a seller's market. Even though the pendulum is always swinging, it is swinging toward a buyer's market, but it's right now still a seller's market. So the biggest value that you can bring to your clients for 2025 is to let them know and bring them back down to reality of what the trends are, the actual market data. And phrasing it in a way that doesn't make it you against them because of the market. It's you and them against the market. I can't change what the market is. I can only tell you and interpret it for you so that way you can net the most and sell the fastest. And what I mean by bringing sellers down to reality is I'm continuing to go on listing appointments too. And a lot of sellers, they don't keep up to date with real estate, current events, and news and trends like we do because it's not their job. So how are we to assume that they should know? They don't have to know. It's not their job to do that. It's our job to inform them and say, we no longer can be trendsetters. The market is no longer like it was during COVID, where any single house that went on the market can list it at any single price and get that price. It is no longer the case. At this time, sellers are on average paying $15,000 toward buyers' closing costs. We're getting 96.5% of list to sale price for a 4-bed, 3-bath house in this zip code. So if we want to sell at $430,000, we're likely going to have to list it at a little bit above. When you go on these listing appointments, show them the data if they are the data type. You will know. Do you have an engineer as a seller? Then bring all the data. Do you have a creative? Then just tell them, show them pretty graphs, but don't go in the weeds. With that said, a lot of sellers are actually choosing to keep their property and rent it out because if they were to sell it, that means that they're going to be kissing goodbye that great interest rate that they have. To which I tell my sellers, good. I actually advise you to keep your property and rent it out as cash flow, so that way you eventually, if not now, you will have passive income at some point. I put them in touch with the one and only property manager that I trust in Tucson. And that's a way to win a client over, to let them know that you don't have commission breath and that you're putting their needs first. You have their fiduciary duty. So what does this mean for agents in general? In 2024, there were 4 million transactions that took place. 2025 is predicted to have an increased amount, 4.3 million transactions. So let's do some simple math. I want to show you how many leads you have right now on your phone. Remember the comment earlier? This is where I'm going to be doing this right now. If 4.3 million transactions are taking place in the US and there are 346 million people in the United States, according to Worldometer, that means 1.2% of Americans plan on doing a transaction this year. Look at your iPhone contacts right now. If you have an iPhone, go to contacts, scroll all the way to the bottom and see how many contacts do you have. I have over 4,000 people, but I know that some of these contacts, first of all, I have 18 duplicates and some of them are like Pizza Hut. Some of them are like UPS. Some of them are block numbers because I block any cold caller. Taking away 200 of them and assuming that I have 4,000 actual people in my contacts, I'm curious as to how many you have in your contacts. 1% of that is 40. That means out of everyone in my contacts that already likely know me and like me and hopefully trust me, I already have 40 closings just from my phone alone. This does not include email. This doesn't include Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, if that's going away, whatever. This is just with my phone. So 40 people are going to be ready, willing, and able to buy. Now I just have to make sure that they still know me, like me, and trust me. And all I need to do is remind them to choose me. If you are looking for assistance this year, I have opened up my Black Belt course where I will meet with you one-on-one. The link is in the description below. If you need further help and you want my access daily, join me at Exp. The link is also below. Please drop in the comments what percentage of your contacts are going to be closing. I want you to know this number. Every single time you look at your phone, you're thinking, there are 40 people in here right now, or whatever your number is. This is Ruben, by the way. Drop in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video.